The Iraqi Dinar. Revaluation, Fact, Fiction, and Financial Reality in 2025 by Dinar and Dong Updates, May 8, 2025. In a world of volatile economies and speculative investments, few topics have generated as much sustained intrigue and controversy as the potential revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, IQD. For years, dinar holders, financial analysts, and curious onlookers have debated whether Iraq's national currency was due for a monumental change in value. Now, in 2025, rumors have exploded into headlines, fueled by claims that the revaluation has been confirmed, broadcast live on Iraqi national television, and officially integrated into the country's economic infrastructure. But how much of this is fact? How much is speculation? And what does this moment truly represent for investors, Iraq's economy, and the global financial landscape? Let's break it down. The revaluation claim. What's being said? According to recent reports circulating widely online, particularly within dinar investor communities, on May 7, 2025, Iraq's national television network allegedly began broadcasting new, significantly increased exchange rates for the Iraqi dinar. These rates, purportedly reflecting a major currency revaluation, are said to be part of a larger shift supported by economic reforms, oil-backed assets, and a national effort to reduce reliance on the US dollar. The story being told is one of national transformation. Iraq shedding its post-war financial burdens, stabilizing politically, and using its vast oil wealth to support a strong, revalued currency. Reports cite signs such as new lower-denomination dinar notes being issued, banks updating internal systems to reflect new rates, contracts and trade agreements being rewritten using the revalued IQD, the Iraqi government placing restrictions on US dollar transactions. These events are being framed as confirmation that the long-awaited revaluation is not only real, but actively happening in real time. A look back. Why the dinar attracted attention? The origins of dinar speculation date back to the early 2000s, after the fall of Saddam Hussein. With Iraq's economy in disarray, the Iraqi dinar was devalued heavily, leading to a steep decline in its purchasing power. At one point, it took over 1,000 dinars to equal $1, a stark contrast to earlier decades when the dinar was one of the strongest currencies in the Middle East. Some investors believe that once Iraq achieved stability and leveraged its oil wealth effectively, the dinar would recover dramatically. This belief led to a niche but passionate global market for IQD investment, often driven by the idea that a revaluation could result in life-changing financial gains. However, official financial institutions, including the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank, have historically emphasized gradual currency reform, not sudden leaps in value. That has made dinar revaluation theories a mix of hope, strategy, and at times, misinformation. Oil wealth and economic reforms. The fuel behind the fire. One aspect of the 2025 revaluation narrative that carries real weight is Iraq's oil wealth. With the world experiencing rising energy demand, Iraq has enjoyed record-breaking oil revenues in recent years. These funds are being used to support infrastructure, repay debt, and initiate economic reforms aimed at modernizing the country's financial system. Government officials have also discussed reducing Iraq's dependence on the US dollar in favor of strengthening domestic use of the dinar. Moves in this direction include new monetary policies encouraging dinar-based transactions, reduced access to US dollars through local banks, legal requirements for certain contracts to be denominated in dinars. These actions could indeed signal a strategic shift in Iraq's financial direction, lending some credibility to revaluation theories, at least in terms of long-term goals. Red flags and risk factors. While the revaluation story is compelling, it's essential to examine it critically. Several red flags have historically been associated with dinar speculation. 1. Lack of international verification. As of now, no major international news organization, e.g. Reuters, Bloomberg, CNBC, has reported on a confirmed Iraqi dinar revaluation. If the dinar had truly revalued overnight to a new, higher rate, financial markets would reflect it, and central banks worldwide would respond. 2. Scam-related narratives. Phrases like contract rates, redemption centers, and NDAs are commonly found in currency scam promotions. There is no verified evidence that such systems exist or are sanctioned by legitimate financial institutions. 3. Legal warnings. The U.S. Treasury and state regulatory agencies have, in the past, warned against speculative dinar purchases sold under the promise of imminent revaluation. 4. Exchange reality. Even if Iraq adjusted its official exchange rate marginally, exchanging large amounts of dinar for massive U.S. dollar returns would still face practical and legal constraints, including taxes, limits on exchange services, and supply-demand imbalances. What's actually happening in Iraq? There are indeed signs of economic reform underway in Iraq. The CBI has been transparent about its goals to modernize the financial system, enhance transparency, fight corruption, and stimulate domestic economic growth. Efforts have included digitizing the banking system, introducing financial literacy programs, adjusting currency notes to improve usability, increasing cooperation with neighboring countries and global investors. These are positive developments, but they don't necessarily equate to a massive, sudden currency revaluation. The likelier path, as suggested by financial experts, is a gradual appreciation of the dinar over time as Iraq's economy strengthens. Should investors be excited or cautious? For holders of the Iraqi dinar, the current news cycle may feel like vindication after years of waiting. However, responsible investing requires a cautious and informed approach. What to do if you're a dinar holder? 1. Check official sources. Monitor the Central Bank of Iraq, IMF, and global financial media for confirmed updates. 2. Beware of scams. Avoid any service or individual promising insider exchange rates, guaranteed returns, or requiring personal financial information under suspicious conditions. 3. Consult financial professionals. Before attempting to exchange currency or make reinvestments, speak with a certified financial advisor and tax specialist. 4. Plan logically. Have an exchange strategy. Understand bank policies, fees, local exchange laws, and how gains would be taxed. Global implications. If it's real, let's entertain the possibility that Iraq has truly begun a major currency revaluation. What might that mean? Iraq could emerge as a regional financial player, boosting trade with neighboring countries like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Turkey. Foreign direct investment might increase, particularly from energy, infrastructure, and technology sectors. The Middle East's monetary dynamics could shift, especially as more countries explore de-dollarization. But such a transformation would not go unnoticed by international markets. If a significant revaluation had occurred, forex markets, oil prices, and geopolitical commentary would be in overdrive. As of this writing, they are not. Conclusion: hope meets reality. The idea of the Iraqi dinar revaluing is an enticing one, especially for those who invested early and held firm through years of doubt. Recent reports paint a picture of transformation, resilience, and opportunity. And it's true that Iraq, backed by oil wealth and reform ambitions, is showing signs of economic evolution. However, the leap from economic reform to massive overnight currency revaluation is a large one, and not yet supported by independent, verifiable evidence. Hope is not a strategy. As exciting as the dinar story may be, the wisest investors will pair optimism with realism, emotion with education, and speculation with due diligence. Whether the revaluation is myth or milestone, one truth remains. The financial world is watching Iraq closely, and the next chapter is still being written.